my absolute favourite place. Um, and so it made me very happy to see that, the a channel that I watched, American couple, because they go around various, you know, um, scare attractions and things. They look around with the lights on and admire the beauty of it all. And they like gothic settings, they like going to graveyards and whatnot, and just the dark side of history and whatnot. They like discussing that. And, just kind of taking in the beauty of the macabre. So it made me very, very happy that, on their Europe road trip thing that they're doing. Oh, my nose, I'm still ill with a cold. Um, so apologies for any disgusting noises from my nose. But it made me very happy that when visiting England, they visited Alton Towers. Because I was like, oh, I think I love it at Alton Towers. Because I like it at Alton Towers.
Florence.
Florence? Um, hello, Florence, if you're here. Um, yes, because Alton Towers, it's got this big gothic manor house in the middle of it, which they kept calling it a castle, and that kind of bugged me a bit that they kept calling it a castle, because I'm pretty sure it's not a castle. To anyone who isn't used to castles and things, you'd look at it and be like, that's a castle. But don't know if that was my stomach, don't know if that was something else, but I just kind of heard a he kind of a noise from kind of that direction. So towards um, just the corner of the room. So you've got the door over there, and then you've got this kind of back wall along where the chair is. That back corner, I'd heard kind of a he kind of a noise. Could have been my stomach, like I
Yes,
said.
over here.
Yes, over here. Well, that's relevant, isn't it? Are you over there, Spirit? In that corner? See, now I suddenly feel quite cold and, like goosebumps type thing. So that's interesting because as a, this is why I've been waffling as well, because I find quite often when you just waffle, you can have a lot of activity kind of happening, especially if you're like, because that's a way of giving energy out, right? By enthusing in something. So by me doing all the speculation and by enthusing in something, suddenly made conversation. I don't know whether or not it would have caught it on camera. I doubt it would have. So the significant thing there isn't necessarily if it's been caught on camera, but the fact I've been like, oh, over in that corner, yes, over here. That coincidental timing. Um, who's over in that corner, Spirit? But yeah, as I was about to say, um, okay, that was lots of creaking.
Evelyn.
Evelyn, again, the way you pronounce it, like Evelyn, I'm like, is it saying evil in? Because again, like I was saying earlier on about the overnight channel, Godfrey was the word that they said on their thing, and they took it as a name, being like, oh, you call Godfrey, and then they thought, oh, what does it mean? Are they God free, as in free of God? Um, so that's how this might work. So it's just said Evelyn, but pronounced it Evelyn, so it could mean evil in. You know?
Two.
Two? Does that mean that there are two spirits here? Perhaps? Um, yeah, so as I was saying about the Grim Life Collective, because I got a bit sidetracked, um, yeah, I was watching their video about Alton Towers and really, really enjoying that. But the interesting thing, which is what brought me onto it, was this has just said green hair. And the girl from the Grim Life Collective, you've got man and woman, I'm pretty sure husband and wife, which again, interesting that said wife, and then it said green hair. She has green hair. But that's like very, very like the most blatant feature of her is that she's got this like lime green hair. So maybe it's referring to that. Because again, with me kind of going down that route of, oh, is the spirit referring to something I've watched on telly? Granted, I didn't watch Grim Life Collective on telly, but with them possibly listening to conversations and then saying like with Dead Don't Rest, being like trying to get in on the conversation, like now when all is done, and then suddenly saying about green hair, has it seen me watch Grim Life Collective? And then saying about, oh, who's the person's wife with the green hair? Maybe?
Feel.
Feel? I'm trying to see how that will, but you know, so my brain is being like, ooh, how does that relate? How does that relate? How does that relate? Evelyn to feel? Maybe two as in was like two?
I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thank you, Spirit. I'm glad you're here as well. I'm glad we can have these conversations. I'm glad that you're actually talking a bit more. But it seems like you're talking a bit more, or being a bit more direct, you know? Because you know, it said two as in the number, so TWO. Maybe it meant two as in just TO or TOO. If it's going off phonetics, maybe it's misspelling things. So Evelyn to feel could mean like maybe Evelyn wants to feel something, or maybe emotion wise, maybe physically. I don't know.
Military.
Military. It's been a while since it said something to do with the military. It's also saying a lot of female names today, like a lot of female reference, which makes me wonder when it is saying stuff like he's here. Maybe it is meaning she's here. Would you like to elaborate more on the military spirit? Because that's something that you've said about previously. Did something happen to you?
Cold.
Cold. It is quite cold today, Spirit. It is quite a cold day. As I can't sit here being like, oh, it's unusually cold, because it is the middle of October. Um, Again, my nose is just gone. The weather has
Florence.
Florence. Pretty sure it said Florence before. Is your name Florence, Spirit? Um, yeah, the weather's gone downhill with, you know, a bit of wind, bit of rain. And again, with the same walls hold secrets. Well, you did say Florence earlier. It said Florence immediately after walls hold secrets. Um, Walls hold secrets is again a conversation I tend to have because of the overnight channel. They've got a theory that it's not necessarily a spirit within the house haunting it, but rather people live in a house, they exert energy over time, that energy goes into the house and somewhat brings the house to life and gives it a spirit of its own. Um, which I've been doing a good bit of thinking about, you know, about just in general what is life, you know. Because, like with plants, Helen, again, all these female names, so many women, so many female names being spoken. So I think that's well and truly confirmation that whenever it said anything regarding he, it's meaning she, right?
I was wealthy.
You were wealthy? That was quick as well, straight away. Helen, I was wealthy. The most interesting thing is going to be looking through all these word lists, which I will upload to Facebook. I'm aware that we are past day 10 now, so I will upload the first 10 lists of the investigation to Facebook. I'll do that probably tomorrow at some point. And I'll put them in their own thing. I'm not going to upload them.
I was sick.
You were sick? Why were you sick, Spirit? What was wrong? Yeah, I'm aware that they're going to be somewhat out of order. I've got loads of word lists to upload first. But yeah, I will upload the first 10 word lists I've done and put them in their own album under the 28-day cycle, because this is its own little bubble, because it's all back to back pretty much investigations, so I will have that in its own thing. And then later on I'll re-upload them and put them in the relevant things, so either just the general words list one, well that's interesting. Right, important thing to note, when the door is closed, there is a draft. I don't know if Mum's window's open. I don't know if it's a case of just there's a natural draft through the building. Like I say, it's cold in here. But at the moment, I've got the plastic sheet over the door. There is a draft, like it's not stuck down at the bottom. There is a draft going through the gap between the door and the wall.
The living.
The living, interesting. There was such a strong draft then that looking towards the door, I don't know if the camera would have picked it up because there might be stuff here in the way blocking it. But there was such a strong draft, I could see the bottom corner, and it wasn't just like the bottom corner, it was like all the way up to the handle. So you might be able to see where the windows are, like the lower windows. It was kind of up to that lower window. Oh, there you go, just did it again and again. But I can see that physically moving because the draft is that strong. Because that's why I just suddenly stopped and looked over there, because I was like, I can hear rustling. I was like, what is the rustling? I was like, oh, it's the thing from the door.
The battery.
The battery? I mean, that's still going. It's still going. That's still going. I can see that properly moving.